Yo, this the real story. Part one of why the firm, the rap group, the firm, why why they legacy never really established like it was supposed to be. Like one of the first premier super groups ever was the firm. Just think about the, just think about the lineup of the firm. Nas, Az, Foxy Brown, and Cormega. Those the first four, right? So at that time, he was the king. He was the king. You might say Nas was at the top of his game right there. He was running with Biggie. Him and Biggie was like, going back and forth for the crown and shit. But just think of that lineup. And then on top of that, they was able to do an album with Dr. Dre. Top dog right there. So you think about it, yo. So let me tell you how the story go. I'm gonna tell you why they never really got to their height. It was basically because of ego. I can't pinpoint it. I can't pinpoint it down to a science of why they never really got a second album or whatever. But it was had to do with a lot of ego and shit. But in the beginning of it, I can tell you, this is no disrespect to Jay-Z or nothing. But when the firm was hot, Jay-Z used to chase them around in shows. He wanted to be down with the firm. I can tell you that for a fact, son. Word, because I used to be with AZ all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the times I seen some stuff. I seen when they was promoting the firm. It was not only Jay-Z, son. It was a lot of rappers wanting to be down with the firm. Shit, I even wanted to be down with the firm one time because I even remember one time when I was in AZ Black Lex. He had a Lex Coupe. Just got the shit, and he played me the first time I ever heard. Nobody heard this shit yet. It wasn't even released to the radio yet. The nigga played Affirmative Action, son, and I almost lost my mind, kid. Like I literally almost lost my mind when I heard Affirmative Action. You know what I'm saying? And then I was so gassed. I was young then. I wanted to be a rapper too back then. And that back then it was a lot of rappers out from New York, especially Queensbridge. Queens rappers was holding it down back then. It was a lot of Queens rappers out back then. But AZ had his little come up. And I could tell you the firm they never really got established because of ego, man. I seen a lot of stuff between like egos and, you know what I'm saying? Just it was mostly ego. You know what I'm saying? I remember the time when they was shooting the cover for the Source magazine, and Cormega was supposed to be on it, but he got a call saying, first he got a call saying we shooting the cover of the Source. So he started getting a haircut, going to the barber shop, getting a haircut. Then he got a call saying it was canceled. And then they shot the cover without him because he wasn't noticed. Steve Stout did that shit. That's the beef between that's word of mother. That's what started the beef between Cormega and Nas. That riff right there, Steve Stout started that shit. Cause he knew that Mega didn't have no notoriety yet. He ain't had no album out. Everybody else in the firm, they was popping and shit. Except Mega. He ain't had nothing out. So he had like he didn't want him to come up off that. It was some hater shit, son. Steve Stout was a hater from the beginning, son. Word of mother. And Mega was mad tight, son. And then it got Mega tight because Nas didn't defend that shit. That was some real shit. Nas didn't defend that shit. That was real. You know what I'm saying? Mega just came home too. Mega just came home. I was on work release at that time. And AZ was hot off his album and shit. So I was there. So the firm didn't go off because of ego, son. Yo, imagine that, yo. Them niggas, that lineup, the firm, that lineup was ridiculous. Nas, AZ, Cormega, and Foxy with Dr. Dre. Yo, how that legacy fizzled out, son. That's sad, man. That's sad that they didn't give hip hop. It's sad that they didn't give hip hop what they were supposed to get, son, because of ego. A lot of hip hop is like that. Because of ego, the fans won't get a lot of shit, man. Word of mother. Sort of like a Beyonce, Chris Brown. You'll never see that album because of Jay-Z and shit. No disrespect to Hov and shit, but just what it is. Just keeping it real. I'm out.